try to take off with the guap, they gon' make your body flop. Is you feeling like a savage? Cause I'm feeling like a savage.
What up, guys? Beard Bros with the first annual 33 for 33 series, NFL's 2022 season predictions. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications. You guys know what we're doing by now. We've been in about 6 videos at this point. Hope you guys agree or disagree with our picks. Like I said, today's Cincinnati Bengals. You guys get in the comments, pick the picks that you like. If you haven't made the picks before the video, you can make the picks with us or do it and throw it in the comment section before the video is done. As you know, we got the Cincinnati Bengals. I already mentioned that. What are your thoughts?
They were the defending AFC champions, went to the Super Bowl, obviously. Had a good run, but the Los Angeles Rams happened to be the more superior team in that sequence. We've seen their offensive line kind of diminish in that game. Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase. That offense is good. They revamped the line. I believe they got our lineman, Lyle Collins. They're trying to help that offense as much as they can. I don't know if they made any defensive moves. I can't remember.
I don't think they've made any defensive moves. The only moves that I really seen was the offensive line.
Offensive line was a big, major key this offseason. So, with that being said, let's start with the first game. Or unless you have anything else to say.
As you know, I've mentioned this in the past. I'm not big on the whole super. I'm more. How can I put this? Whenever you lose a Super Bowl, I believe there's a reason behind it, and I don't think that people or teams, I guess you should say, teams that lose the Super Bowl don't go to even the playoffs the next year. And so for me, I'm already kind of low on the Bengals this season because of that. And like I agree, they did reamp the line. They did a few good things. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. So, that doesn't tell me anything. Nonetheless, let me see. This is it right here. So they signed Lyle Collins, and then they signed Alex Kappa from the Tampa Bay Bucks, and then that was it. That's all it shows right now.
Two linemen,
top 2 linemen. Which is good. I give them props. But again, when it comes to the Super Bowl slump, I'm a big believer in it. I've been pretty right for the most part in most years. And so that's kind of where I'm at. We'll see how my actual season works out whenever we start doing this. But, yeah, let's jump right into Game 1.
Game 1. They are away. Oh, no, they're home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Who do I got? I have the Bengals winning this game.
All right.
Opening up with the win. I obviously had to fill out the schedule. So I know what they are already. But, yeah, I have them being able to beat probably a rookie or Mitchell Trubisky. And they're at home. I think they're able to get her done week 1.
Okay. I am on the opposite of that. I have the Steelers beating them week 1. Yes.
That's weird.
I have the Steelers winning week 1 against the...
I'm actually surprised because I thought he was a homer for the Bengals. So
I mean, game 1 is game 1, and I feel like it's going to be hard to predict the Steelers. Like, you don't know who's going to play. It's kind of hard to game plan for a whole offseason for a team that you don't know who you're getting. Like, you don't know if Pickett's going to be...
But it don't matter. I think the Bengals are better than...
I don't know, man. Steelers have Najee and Chase or Claypool. So I have them winning.
Okay, we'll see about that game. Game 2, they traveled down to Dallas. A little bit more of an afternoon game. Who do you got?
I actually have the Cincinnati Bengals winning this game. I think that jump back from that week 1 debacle of losing to the Steelers... And I think we as in the Cowboys, I'm a Cowboy fan, we don't ever beat good teams. It's usually the weaker end of the teams. So I just have to give the Cowboys a loss to the fact that their offense is a lot better than our defense, I feel like.
I mean, that's a fair argument. We don't beat good teams. But the Bengals are not a good team. And they're coming down to Dallas. and they will be taking an L against the Dallas Cowboys. And it's not because I'm a homer. You will see. But I don't think that they beat Dallas in Dallas.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't give Dallas a lot of wins.
No.
I mean, we'll see tomorrow, but because obviously we have Dallas tomorrow.
Okay, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going all the way up north to the Jets. Who do you got on that bad boy?
Unfortunately, even if I do think the Bengals are a bad team, they're not that bad of a team. They're not going to lose to the Jets, even on the road. So I think that the Bengals end up winning this game against the Jets.
I agree. I think the Jets are one of like 4 or 5 teams that suck this year, and I don't think they're going to beat the Bengals.
By the way, guys, I'm trying. What is this?
It's called a Sour Patch Float Slush.
Don't drink this before you go to bed.
Like Jaws
I feel like I'm about to just be up all night.
That's so.
Anyways, so you have them winning?
I have them beating the Jets, of course.
Okay,
I
so
think
you're
that's,
you're 2-1. I'm 2-1, except your 2-1 is a different loss and win than
I'm on a
mine right
2-game
now.
winning streak. Right
Okay, so then you have the Miami Dolphins traveling up to Cincinnati on
That's short.
a short week, which is a Thursday night football game.
Yep.
Who do you got?
Yep, you said it. Short week, and I think that Tua Tagovailoa team is good enough to bounce to a win on this game because I don't think Cincinnati going to Dallas, going to the Jets, and then going back home is going to be good enough to stop the Dolphins. It's a lot of traveling just to do.
I agree with you. I also agree that the Dolphins will hand it to the Bengals on Thursday night due to the fact of a bit of traveling, getting home, but not being able to relax too much. Dolphins come in, they get the dub. Moving on forward.
Gotcha. Then we've already done this game. It's the Baltimore Ravens against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Would you have them?
I had the Cincinnati Bengals winning.
And I had the Cincinnati Bengals losing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they lost to the
We're like
Ravens.
flip-flopping games right here.
A little bit. We're a little different, but our record's pretty much
It's the
kinda
same, I think.
close. Okay, we'll do an update at halfways.
Gotcha.
Okay, next game.
They go to New Orleans to play the Aints, in your opinion.
And that's who they are. They're the Aints. And even when I said the Bengals are not projected theoretically in my eyes to go to the playoffs, they get a win here.
I also agree. I think the Saints are the Saints right now. We don't. Who the fuck's their quarterback? Mariota? Not good enough.
Okay, so then we've already projected this game,
Yep.
which was the Atlanta Falcons. I had Atlanta losing to the Bengals.
I had Atlanta. I have Bengals beating Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay, and then the next game we had Cleveland, which we've done already too, right?
I believe so.
We had to. Oh no, the Cleveland's next. Cleveland's next. So my bad about earlier. I said Cowboys were tomorrow. Cleveland's tomorrow. Then it's Dallas.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
now that we're back on track, this is a Monday night against the Cleveland Browns on the road. Who do you got?
I got the Browns winning this game. Deshaun Watson's breakout game of the season. I'm predicting it now. Early predictions. Deshaun Watson goes crazy in this game.
Wow. I don't feel that way. I feel like Deshaun Watson might not even be back yet. Even if he is back, he's probably coming off a 6-game fucking suspension. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But nonetheless, I think that right now they're on a 2-game winning streak, beating a couple teams. They keep the winning streak going. They beat the Cleveland Browns on the road, and they keep the winning streak going.
Are you sure you're not going for the Bengals, dog? Because every game I'm picking them to lose, you're like, nah, bro, these ones gonna kick their ass.
I mean,
And
it is what it is.
We've done this one, the Carolina Panthers. I've had the Bengals beating the Panthers.
I also had the Bengals beating the Panthers.
There we go.
So halfways, we're at week 9.
And their bye is week 10.
And the next week is actually their bye, like you said. What is your record right now?
6-3.
6-3?
There's
How
not.
do you have so many wins? I feel like you picked them to lose a lot.
I've only picked the Cleveland, the Dolphins, and the Steelers to lose.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also have them at 6-3.
Just different losses.
Just different losses and wins.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward.
Okay, week 11. Obviously, we said week 10 was our bye. Week 11 at Steelers.
At Steelers, Sunday night. I don't care. Steelers have it going at this point. They're figured out their quarterback. Tomlin's a good coach. He's at home. Primetime game. Hosting the defending AFC champs. Hands them their first loss in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, I also have. I actually have the Bengals winning this game.
Okay.
I think we figured out the Steelers aren't as good as we think they are. I think their quarterbacks are like, what the fuck are we doing with these guys? So I think the Bengals win this game due to the fact I think it's late in the season or middle of the season, and I think we'll figure out who the Steelers are by that point.
Well, I'm actually surprised that I did that. Now that I'm looking back, I kind of think I screwed up because
you picked them.
But even if I did flip flop, even if I did it, it won't matter. But it don't. What's one game? It's not going to make the biggest of difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for the Bengals it would. But the reason I look at this is majority of the time I give a team that's a decent team off a bye a win.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But this time I did it.
That boy hates the Bengals.
What do you mean? I just gave him 4 in a row.
Oh, that's cool.
So then they travel back. No, they actually travel to Tennessee to verse the Tennessee Titans on the road.
I don't care who the Titans got. I don't care if they got the dude from Arkansas or Derrick Henry or.
Well, they got both those guys.
I don't care. I don't care what they got. They could sign Julio Jones back. I don't think they're beating the Cincinnati Bengals.
So you want them losing?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I also have Tennessee losing to the Bengals.
They're just not the team they were last year.
Yeah, I just don't think Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill, they don't have enough. Like they might be able to squeak out some games, maybe in their division, maybe a couple outside, but not more than that. And this isn't one of the teams that I think that they can beat.
I agree.
Bengals win.
Then they play the AFC. I think that they were the AFC championship game, right? The Cincinnati Bengals and the Chiefs. They go home to play the Kansas City Chiefs. I almost said Cincinnati Bengals.
Kansas City's a better team. They beat the Bengals. Prove a point that they were not actually better than them. They were better than them in one game. Well, actually 2 games because the Bengals beat them late in the season and then they beat them in the playoffs. So I think the Chiefs are going to have a lot to try to prove right now, especially Mahomes being fairly young and, kind of wanting to prove that he's the GOAT or whatever, the greatest of right now or whatever. So he's going to want to knock Burrow off.
Okay.
And so I think they give them a loss.
I also have the Chiefs winning this game. I think the Chiefs at this point are potentially a number 1 team, and I think they're going to prove it against a team that's pretty decent.
That's fair. Now, they go home again to verse they stay home and host the Cleveland Browns. What do you got?
I have the Cleveland Browns winning, which that means Cleveland Browns swept the Cincinnati Bengals. Same reason I gave it the last time. I think Deshaun Watson's going to be out there, top 3 contender to the MVP, and I think he's just going to prove the NFL why massages matter.
I don't agree. I give the Bengals a loss at home against Cleveland because Deshaun Watson will be back, and he'll have about 6 games or maybe more.
I give the Bengals a loss too.
Oh. Well, we agree then.
Yeah,
because I believe Deshaun Watson will have been back by now, at least for half a dozen games. I think at the max, I see him getting 6 games. We'll talk about that tomorrow, though. Anyways, but I have the Bengals hosting the Browns and losing.
Okay, me too. So then they go to Florida, Tampa Bay to be exact, to play Tom Brady, 7 championships, and that rest of that good team.
And they lose.
I agree. I think it's that easy. I don't think there's very much to explain on that one.
Yeah, you're on the road at a very tough place.
Yep. It's almost playing like Foxborough, pretty much, with Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady's just too good. I don't care who he got. See, they just, I guess by the time we get to him, they signed Kyle Rudolph yesterday.
Yeah.
So that could potentially be like a Gronk replacement a little bit.
Just a little dink and dunk kind of player. Yeah, I agree.
Then they go back on the road. They travel from Tampa up to New England to verse the New England Patriots.
Speaking of Foxborough, this isn't the Tom Brady Foxborough, and I have the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Mac Jones squad. I don't think Mac Jones is going to have the greatest year this year, and I think Joe Burrow has enough to overpower that defense.
I agree. I also give the win to the Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't think Mac Jones will be what he was last year.
I agree.
I don't think they have enough weapons on the offensive side or defensive side. I think the Bengals are able to squeak out a win and beat. And it's a Saturday night game, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I still think that the Bengals.
It's a Christmas day or a Christmas Eve. That's pretty crazy. And then they come back home to play the Buffalo Bills.
We did both these.
Oh yeah, we did do Buffalo, huh?
I have them losing both.
I had them winning both, actually.
So, who do you think? Who do you want to go first, or you want me to? I mean, obviously they know if they've been writing it down, but what's your record? We'll just start there.
11-6.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you've had them losing a lot.
I had them 3-3 in both halves.
I have them at 8-9.
God, yeah, they suck.
Yeah, I don't think they make the playoffs. I don't think they suck, but I don't think they make the playoffs. That's where I was at. I never said they suck. I don't think Joe Burrow sucks. I don't think Jamar Chase sucks. I don't think any of the whole team is decently constructed. The problem is I think recency, sometimes we get a little too hung up on it. And this is why for this year, like, who lost the Super Bowl last year? It was, who won? Tampa? Was it Tampa that won the year before against
Kansas?
Against Kansas City? Mm-hmm. That was the year before. And then this year was the Rams and the...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the year before was like the 49ers or something.
Okay, we'll just say this. So,
Falcons or
so Kansas City obviously broke the streak that I had been on. Because, well, it's Kansas City. They're a pretty good team right now. The thing about the Bengals is, for one, they barely even got in the playoffs this year. Two, they made a run that not many... They were like almost the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Mm-hmm. It was like one of those miraculous seasons that we were like, oh, but then since then they haven't done anything. Nick Foles, Joe Burrow, not the same guy, not saying that at all. But I'm also saying... He had a lot of success in his first real year. Mm-hmm. It was his first real year because the year before he tore his ACL or whatever. Yeah. I think now they're still good. They're going to be wrecking for 10 years or so. But I think this is the year they kind of like come back to the drawing board and like, okay, where did we lack? Because obviously we weren't as good as we were the year before. What happened? Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm kind of like, they're not sucky, but they're not elite. They're like right there, middle, 500 almost. Like I said, that Steeler game, it could flip-flop and they could be 9-8. But I don't think that's enough with Kansas City, Denver, Chargers, and the Raiders right now. And then you're going to have a winner out of the Colts division and the Titans in them. And then you're going to have Buffalo most likely, maybe the Dolphins. And then you have the Ravens, the Browns maybe, and then the Bengals themselves. That's like 10 teams right there that are jockeying for 7 playoff spots.
See, I'm on the other side. What hurt them in the Super Bowl is what they fixed. They went and got offensive tackles and offensive linemen to help out Joe Burrow. I feel like they put enough around him already as offense and defense to win games, and that's why I got them at that. Because I feel like what they were lacking was protection. And now they got a few guys that are known in the league that are pretty good. And now I feel like that's what's going to amp them to the next level.
And this is the first real team that we've been almost on opposite ends.
Yeah, because this is a tough team to predict. Because like you said, you could have that year where it's just here to down. Like, you just one of those bad years where your schedule just is fucked.
I just seen also Jamar Chase went off last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was a pop-in whiteout for fantasy and like just overall for the Bengals. it doesn't happen very often, if at all, that a guy like that pops off again and again.
Yeah, there's only one other player that's done it. And it was his teammate, fucking.
Yeah, like it's just
JJ.
not that easy to do. And so for that, like I said, if they were to make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised because again, Joe Burrow's a good quarterback, and that's to me that's the most essential piece that you need. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not a playoff team.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's the bottom of the line. But I also just think, like, I had them starting off hot. They were 6-3 first half of the season.
Oh, yeah, same.
But then after that, they only put together 2 wins, and it's just because I just think that the back half of their schedule is a little bit tougher than their front half.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple games winnable, maybe a game that I could switch on. But again, I don't think a 9-8 team is getting into the playoffs.
Nah, not 9-8. Not even. Probably not
Maybe
even 10.
10-7.
Maybe, but probably pushing
But I think
it.
they were 10-7 last year.
But now there's like 10 teams that are
Like
good.
I said, Kansas City, Denver, Chargers. You could throw the Raiders, the Colts, Ravens, Cleveland, and maybe the Bengals, and then you have Buffalo and Miami. That's 10 teams for 7 positions.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be. I think more than 10's definitely. You're looking pretty promising.
Pretty much. And they play a lot of each other.
Yeah.
Like, they have a game against Buffalo. They have a game against Kansas City, and those are outside division.
Yeah, and then you play. They got a tough schedule, low key, hard, like pretty hard if you really look at it. From Kansas City all the way to the Ravens, that's all good teams.
All good teams. I mean, we can say what we want about the Patriots, but they were a playoff team, weren't they, last year?
Yep.
So that's a playoff team. Everyone else, there's potential. Like I said, by the time they play Cleveland the second time, what's his name might be back. He might be back for both games, but we'll see. Like,
Yeah.
that's still to be determined.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Again, guys, hopefully y'all are enjoying. Like the video, subscribe. Again, if you can comment what your record is. Obviously, we didn't agree. What's your record? Do you meet in the middle? Do you give them more or less? Where do you have the Bengals at in 2022? Are you a Bengals fan? Again, we'll see you tomorrow. We have Cleveland. Very interesting team.
Very interesting team.
I'm excited. So,
a lot to talk about on that one.
yeah, stay tuned. Catch you tomorrow. Beard Bros out. Peace.